But we have the Pan American Buffalo Exposition of 1901. So here we have, this is the Temple of Music. So these structures, we are told, are temporary. In 18 months, they constructed, yes, in 18 months, they constructed this city. It took them 18 months to build, and there are several structures that they claim are temporary that still stand. So we have an entire civilization and generation of people with master level craftsmanship that have been removed from this society. They have been killed, they have been exterminated, they were sent through 2 world wars to ensure that nobody would have the ability to make these things ever again. I don't think, I mean, you work in construction, or relatively speaking, what kind of logistics would it take just to build one of these temporarily? Yeah, I like to call it the grand unified architecture. I prefer that as a phrase because it stays agnostic of a particular civilization, because I don't think we know who the civilization is necessarily. So, and I don't think it's Roman. You know, they call it Greco Roman architecture. I don't like that phrase either. I like grand unified architecture. So you can see again this signature brick here. So you have the archways, you have the brick laid out very well. And you can see all kinds of evidence of an entire layer of civilization underneath Rome. I mean, we're talking tunnels, we're talking, what are these? I mean, sewer systems could have been a way of transporting energy. Could have been, you know, these could have been railroads back then. I mean, I don't know. But there are, I mean, I don't know how long it took them to excavate this stuff, but, and this is a massive amount of material. And
so
we're
those
talking
statues were underneath there too.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the big change up in popular culture. They always have, and in video games too, not just movies and TV. They talk about the sewers beneath Rome, the catacombs. They said that they couldn't find Pompeii until 1631, but Pompeii is openly on maps in the very same location with Herculaneum and other cities all through the 1500s. So there's less than 100-year split between when it was put on maps and when it was
apparently found,
dug out.
Yeah, because they didn't know it was there. Apparently, that's what they're claiming.
They say that for 1,600 years they couldn't find the thing.
Yeah,
but every map maker had found it and had been right about it up until the day they dug it out.
But it turns out that they're all a bunch of rich kids from ancient bloodlines from like Dutch families and German families that are responsible for the repurposing of our history. And so I think what we're looking at is we have these repurposed structures. They give these spooks the title of architect, and they're the ones that are responsible for the retrofitting of these structures. They are not the progenitors. They are not the designers of these structures. They are the inheritors. That's why all these cities are founded and not built. You ever wonder about that? The wordplay?
Founded, not constructed.
Penn Station's huge. I wonder if some of these structures weren't used as airships, some sort of airship based.
Like an airport?
Airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see a lot of the designs of these train stations. They do look like a airship could be flown through them or kept in them. If you just bust out one of the walls, they have that sort of half cylindrical design to them that kind of makes them look like hangars in a lot of situations. You find a lot of that style of structure in that period of time, is those sort of huge, cavernous, half cylindrical hangar looking structures in major cities. And then you have the large spires, like at the top of the Empire State Building, that was used as refueling stations for airships. There has been a complete rewriting of our history that has been done in our relative generation. We know people who have gone through it. I have had great uncles who went through the insane asylum, mental asylum, reprogramming prisons that they had set up for 100 years in the 18 and 1900s. So from a personal level, I am very interested in knowing why this happened and a little bit of what happened. I don't think we're ever going to get down to it. And that's the other part of it that's fun, is that it never stops. So you can just keep going and going and going and going. You know, we didn't even talk about Star Force. This is the first, we're mentioning it in the last 5 minutes. It's like, how do we even forget it? Good Lord. I mean, I could do an entire show about Star Force and how insane those are.
It's a handy little purview of history, which nobody seems to know or care about, because we got this little overview of history all through school. And we assumed, like I said in the beginning, that everything's been discovered and there's no more exploration to do. History's all been figured out and it's a dead subject. And if you're interested in history, the History Channel has 47 specials on World War II. And that's it.
We are at the point now where I believe that the next step is to start crowdfunding research and talking to scientists and coming up with ways and strategies of how we can actually start testing these theories, soil core samples, potentially dating the age of rocks and quarries and rocks and buildings.